Hello, my name is Father Lucio Boccacci, and I am the author of the Boy Jesus series. This is a series of books that I've written to explore and present what the Scriptures can tell us about the young Jesus. We are here at the shrine of St. Teresa of the Child Jesus in Collinsville, Oklahoma. And behind me, you have a stained glass window of the finding of the boy Jesus in the temple. This is the moment when Mary and Joseph found Jesus in the temple. It's a perfect backdrop to the fifth book in the series. The fifth book in the series is called Teacher of Israel, and that explores what Jesus did those 3 days in the temple while Mary and Joseph were looking for him. In the fourth book, called Searching for Jesus, I do the flip side of that coin, so to speak. It's the 3 days that Mary and Joseph looked for him. This is the 3 days of what Jesus was doing. So in this book, we're going to hone in on the temple. This is most likely where Jesus spent most of his time. I'm going to ask questions like, who are the religious leaders of Israel, and what do they do in the temple? What are discussions like there, and where do they take place? Which would have been likely where Mary and Joseph would have found the boy Jesus. I'm going to go deeper into the dialogue. It's a dialogue that the boy Jesus would have had with the religious leaders of Israel. Luke tells us that he was listening to them and answering questions, and that they were amazed at his understanding and his answers. It's not a shocking thing to discover that Jesus was amazing his audience. He would do so later on as an adult. Then what I look at is that Luke writes that Jesus was seated in the midst of the teachers of the law. Is that historical? Was Jesus really in the middle of the teachers of the law, garnering their attention? Or was Luke getting at something different? What does it mean to be a teacher of the law? When is that word used in the Scriptures? Is there a theological center instead? And lastly, let me tell you about a part of the book that I really enjoy. It's about the child prodigy stories. You see, in the ancient world, these great historical figures that changed the course of histories may have had biographies written about them. In those biographies, you would have a child prodigy story. It's something that happened to them or that they did when they were young that was a kind of a foreshadowing of things to come in their life. I compare some of these pagan sources to the story of Jesus when he was a boy, and I come up with some interesting conclusions. In any case, you'll find all of this in the fifth book called Teacher of Israel. I encourage you to buy it and to read it for yourself.